Pulsechain has lower fees than Uniswap. It's already built. It's already there. It's already being tested. And so if Ethereum has millions of users, those millions of users are getting free coins.
In this video, Richard Hart discusses the potential success of Pulsechain, a decentralized exchange, DEX, based on the Pulse network. The interviewer questions whether Pulsechain will be successful in drawing liquidity from other top DEXs like Uniswap. Richard Hart believes that Pulsechain will have a first-mover advantage due to its lower fees and an incentive token for liquidity providers. He argues that the liquidity will initially be high on Pulsechain and may become difficult for other DEXs to compete. The interview then explores the possibility of adding limit orders to Pulsechain. Richard Hart confirms that the feature is already built and being tested, but whether it will be implemented will depend on whether it will benefit Pulsechain. He concludes by saying that he hopes the Uniswap team takes advantage of their contracts already launched on the system, and to use it for free to benefit their own DEX.
The only question I have though, Richard, man, is like when the other DEXs come over, can't people still add liquidity to those DEXs?
Sure.
Which
Yes,
so
they
my
can.
question is, and I know you have an answer for it, is what makes you think, and this is not like a smart aleck question, but I know you have I know you have an answer for it.
Competition is the thing.
Correct. So what makes you think that Pulsechain will, suck all of the liquidity out of some of the top exchanges, as in Uniswap, SushiSwap, and things of that nature?
I think exchanges have a first mover advantage thing, because people, when they want to do their trades, they want to get the best deal. And to get the best deal, you need the most liquidity. Because if you trade somewhere that has less liquidity, you get more slippage, which literally means a worse deal. And so by trading on the exchange that has, so for instance, Pulsechain has lower fees than Uniswap. It's 0.29 instead of 0.3. It has an incentive token that rewards people an extra token for being liquidity providers. Uniswap does not. I believe very strongly it will be the most liquid at the start. And then if you look historically about where liquidity has gone since, Uniswap is still more liquid than all the other DEXs that came after it. All of them. And so I think that first mover advantage is very... Now, I should clarify. So Uniswap did move from V1 to V2 to V3. And so currently Uniswap V3 is more liquid than all the other DEXs. But we forked V2. So the features that would be missing would be you can't add bid or ask only liquidity. You have to add symmetrically to both sides equally. That's pretty much the only important feature I can think of off the top of my head that a user cares about that's different between V3 and V2. All the other stuff is just edge case stuff. I don't think most people care about. It's you as a user barely see the difference between V2 and V3, but a liquidity provider sees the difference because you can add on one side and instead of having to add to both. Yeah. So the question is, what percentage of total possible liquidity is already in these automated market makers on Ethereum? And if a large portion of the possible is already there, and then that gets yoinked in launch by the Pulsechain system, then the question is, how is someone else going to overcome that first mover advantage? Because you can't just duct tape token on. That's what Sushi did. They tried to attack. They tried to get Uniswap users, Uniswap liquidity providers, by just giving them an extra token. And then they can't really do that with Pulsechain because we already have that. So you can do it, but it's not as compelling because we already have that. I think it's going to be very hard for other DEXs to kind of compete because of all that liquidity. But who knows? If other people want to compete, so be it. But I hope the Uniswap guys take advantage of the fact that their contract's already launched on the system. It's already there. It's a bit for bit copy. So point your front end at it, use it. why not? It's free, you know? I hope that answers your question. So basically for this reality to exist where someone else has a DEX that's as useful or popular or liquid as Pulsex, you would need to get a lot of LPs to add liquidity. You'd have to get a lot of users to use it. I'm not exactly sure where you'd be able to shoehorn in some type of like better thing, because I don't know what you could do that they didn't already try to do to Uniswap. You know, like they've tried all the ways to attack Uniswap kind of already. So, I mean, it's a hard question, like, because you're thinking like the sky's the limit. What's all the stuff you could do to attack your own product and compete against it? And like I already made my product as good as I could. So I kind of emptied the search space of like good stuff already. So I don't have like extra good stuff waiting to say, oh, my new thing would do that. So I'm like the worst guy to ask this question because I already just put all the good stuff in.
I'll go. Okay. So Richard, I've heard some devs talk about that. So I understand that, V2 for Uniswap you have to have equal order size on either side. Yep. I've heard a dev potentially say I saw it on Telegram that they were looking to add limit orders. Is that something that's potentially going to happen to Pulsex?
Yes. Like maybe. It depends. Like it's already built. It's already there. Mm-hmm. It's already being tested. I don't know if it makes production or not because I haven't tried it myself yet. I look at that and I'm like, okay, we care about Pulsex doing well. Does this feature make Pulsex do better? If so, then you probably see it. If not, you probably don't.
That's fair. I like that.
So like, does it still give Pulsex fees? If not, well, maybe that doesn't get added. I don't know. Like I gotta look at the details. But
one other question.
But I'm looking at it from a perspective of what's best for Pulsex.
I've been messing around on the testnet and everything. On Uniswap, it adds the commas, and sometimes like the numbers are so big that it's like hard to
submit a bug report on GitLab.
Gotcha.
That's an easy one.
Yeah.
Front end bug, easy bug.
My last question for this segment is, do we know how much bigger this, because I really think there's a lot of game theory here to giving people free money, and that will create really hardcore supporters even more than we already have. Do we know how much bigger this airdrop is than other airdrops that have occurred?
Well, this would have to be like, this is the largest airdrop that's ever happened. So we saw like, Uniswap was given for free to people that used it or their LPs. Maybe that was like, 100,000 people, maybe it was 200, maybe it was 300, but it wasn't millions. And so if Ethereum has millions of users, those millions of users are getting free coins. It's the maximum. You could not possibly airdrop more Ethereum users because we're doing all of them, like maybe there'll be like one or two addresses that don't get it, or maybe 10 or 100 or something, but it's like 99.999% airdrop. So yeah, it's anyone that ever used anything, like it's, you have any coin, there you go. Bit for bit copy, enjoy, just works. Change the setting in MetaMask. Click this button and then click OK in MetaMask, and now you're on the new network. It's that easy. Click a button and click OK. You don't have to type anything. So yeah, like it should be a huge deal. It really should be a huge deal.